Good evening, and welcome to this session of the live virtual classes conducted by the Board of Studies Academics of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We were discussing the topic incorporation of company and matters incidental thereto. So we covered quite a lot of ground. We finished types of companies. We saw one person company, the incorporation process, and also we saw one person company. Okay, we finished one person company, right? Now we move on to formation of companies with charitable objects. So good evening to Niharika Kumari and Mrs. Deepika V, both of whom have wished me on the chat. Okay, permit me to also get the query pad on, but I don't really see a lot of traffic on the query pad. I don't see any traffic on the query pad, though there are a few people who go there. Don't worry, that doesn't really make a big difference. You can continue to ask your questions on the chat box itself, no problem. So, yes, nobody has asked anything on the query pad, sorry. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, today we will start with formation of companies with charitable objects, and inshallah keep going on till we come to a particular point. Thereafter, we will move to the next class. We'll complete this topic. Okay. Yeah. I thank you for your reading, Gunjan Devi. Thank you, and Saipa ji. Thank you for your kind greetings, and others who have greeted me also. I greet you all well. Thank you. Moving on. See, this particular subject is here for a very specific reason. To give you a background, you see, suppose you want to do charitable work, you already have other methods of forming. Later on, when we come to CSR, we will talk about that. For example, you have a trust. You can form a public charitable trust, getting it registered under the income tax, under the Registration Act, and then under 12A of the Section 11 of the Income Tax Act, etc., etc., etc. There is that, but that has limitations. There are many things that you won't get exemption for, right? So you might want to get under the Societies Registration Act. See, trust is used only for charitable work. Suppose you want to form an old boy association. Suppose you want to form alumni association. Suppose you want to form a society for promotion of Carnatic Hindustani music, whatever. So that type of association cannot be formed as a trust, in which case you can definitely form as a society. Most of the states have a Societies Registration Act. There is a Central Societies Registration Act, but it is a union subject, which means even states can permit the formation and registration of societies, which would be non-corporate entities. Are you aware of this? The society registered under the Societies Registration Act is not a corporate thing, a body corporate. It is not a body corporate. Okay. So, just for your information, you can check it out. Therefore, if I want to do something, and one more thing, if you form a society under the Maharashtra Societies Registration Act, your operations cannot go beyond the state of Maharashtra. You may have branches, but you cannot have across the country, you cannot have operations. So you won't be a national. Whereas if you come under the Section 25, you can operate everywhere. So there are many benefits of being a Section 8 company. Once upon a time, under the old law, this section was also known as Section 25 earlier. So for ease of remembrance, now we used to say Section 25 company. Now you cannot say Section 25 company. You have to say Section 8 company. So a company which has been registered in the Section 8. See, this is a very, very normal company. It is incorporated like any other company, except that it has three main characteristics, or rather, A, it has as its objects the promotion of one of these: commerce, art, science, sports, education, research, social welfare. Charity bhi hai, it is also there. But if somebody is coming to me and saying, I want to do charity, Mr. Srikanth, I'm going to create a corpus fund, and out of that, I want to give money to poor children for education, or they want to do Annadanam, etc. I will say, sir, please don't waste your time forming Section 25. Sorry, Section 8. It is a too laborious process and not worth it. Rather, I will register a charitable trust for you under the Trust Act in Tamil Nadu or whichever state you want, and you be trustee, you get donation, you give donation. I will also get you exempted under Section 11. I will ensure that you are able to get exemption under Section 11 and also 80G. Though today, in the context of the new regime, Section 80G, deduction for charitable donation, has lost its meaning. Because today, many people give donations and say, we want to claim 80G relief. I will tell them, you claim, but it is not worth, because if you want to claim 80G, you have to go under the old regime. If you go under the old regime, your tax will be more. Is that okay for you? How can you say that? I have done charitable work. How my tax can be more if I claim deduction? Because under the old regime, sir, you are eligible to claim this. The rate is high. Whereas under the new regime, you can't claim. Today your rate is low. Now you decide, you want to pay less tax or more tax? No, you claim new regime only. So what to do with the certificate, receipt? Keep it with you whenever you feel that you have done many sins in your life. Look at it and praise yourself that you have done at least one punyam in your life and go on with your life. That's all. What else can I say? Okay. Now, so charity, religion, protection of environment, etc., etc. Okay. This is not a limit. There is others also. Okay. You can wildlife preservation. Why not? Goshala. Why not? Okay. Anything. So long as it is not for one person's benefit, it should be for a social benefit. Okay. So it should have these objects, any one of these objects, and it should intend to apply its profits, if any. Friends, the words used are beautiful. Luckily, the draftsmen of the new law have not played too much with these words. They have not damaged it beyond repair. Rather, they have preserved it. It is, reading the 2013 Act for a 56 man like me who has written a book on the 56th law, it is almost like seeing some of those beautiful architectural edifices are there in Tamil Nadu. We have huge temples which have been excavated, and some of them are still used, but they are under the Archaeological Society. Whenever we go to those temples, my only concern, I hope they have not destroyed. I hope they have not destroyed, because there are so many bas relief, so many beautiful sculptures that we are only praying that you don't touch it. Let it be there as it is. We'll come and see and go. Don't meddle with it. Is all we beg from the ASI. Okay. So because they are well preserved, you don't go near it. It is good enough for us. That's all. Okay. Or if they are damaged, then the damage, that the repair work should not further damage it, is the point. Of course, with all due regards, the Archaeological Society of India has done a far better job than the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Okay. So to say this, it intends to apply. See the word used, intends, because the intention is to apply. You may make money, you may not make money. But if you make profits, if you are able to get donations, whatever it is you are doing, if any profit is resulting in it, you intend to apply its profits, if any, or other income in the promotion of its objects only. It cannot be for the benefit of any individual or group of people. It intends to prohibit payment of any dividend to its members. So, Section 8 company cannot declare dividend. Once the ROC is satisfied, what happens is, I incorporate a company with the ROC. Along with the incorporation, I also make an application for a license under Section 8. Note it, Your Honors. It is a license under Section 8. License means permission. License is a permission to do something which you would otherwise not be able to do. License is a permission by which one person permits another to do something on his land or in some way which they would otherwise not be permitted or able to do. So here, most of the time, licenses are given by the government. For example, you want to mine minerals or quarry, you need a license. Quarry license, we call it. It's a permission. You understand what I'm saying? Land belongs to the government, but the land is given on lease to you, along with a license to mine to a certain depth, and whatever you get is yours. You have to pay a license fee to the government for information. Most quarries will pay license fee to the government per ton or whatever it is. Based on that, they pay to the government license. Okay. Some of you are raising your hand now. I do not know if you can unmute and talk. I don't think that such a permission is available to you, nor can we keep giving it to you. Therefore, please put your query in the chat box or in the query, wherever you want to do it. Okay. But if it was mistakenly raised, please lower your hand. We can proceed with the lecture. When I come to a logical stopping point, I will see all the questions and answer them. So as and when a question comes to your mind, please put it in the chat box or in the query pad. Then I will not answer immediately. Please believe me, I will see it. When I come to a logical conclusion to my topic, to this topic, I will at that time go there, take all the answers I will do. So ROC is giving you a license. He is giving a license to do what? License to dispense with the words public or private limited, as the case may be. See, normally for a private limited company, we will use the word private limited. Okay, or public limited. Now, so the license is given to remove the word private or limited as the case may be. That's all. And thereafter, this would be a Section 8 company enjoying the privileges of a Section 8 company. Once a license is granted, an application shall be made to the registrar under Section 8(1) itself for registration of company in the manner specified in Rule 19. So, at the time of registration, you will apply in forms. Everything else is the same. So, you will make an application in forms by plus, simplified form, all that. The procedures are all the same, except that along with all that, you will also give the license obtained from the registrar, right? Earlier, this license was issued by the regional director. Now they have transferred this power to the ROC himself, who can grant. Today, even the ROC doesn't do it, boss. It's all online uploading, approval, and sending it back. That's all. So long as all the papers are there. Now, please note it. The memorandum and articles of association for a non-Section 8 company, we are going to see those formats. I'm going to show you the format of memorandum today. I will be showing you. That format cannot be used directly for Section 8. So the memorandum and articles of the proposed company would be in form number INC 13 and form number INC 31 respectively. Okay. And you also should give an estimate of the future annual income and expenditure of the company for next 3 years, specifying the sources of where you're going to come, etc., etc. Also, a declaration by a chartered accountant or a company secretary should give, cost accountant, advocate should give, one of them, INC 14, that everything is done correctly. And also, the persons making the application in form number INC 15. Okay. So all this has to be done. Then that declaration should state that the memorandum and articles have been drawn up in conformity with the provisions of Section 8. All the requirements of the Act and the rules made therein relating to registration of the company under Section 8 have been complied with. Recently, about last year, April or so, we helped an organization to incorporate a Section 8 company. This company was engaged in forming a shared resources services for there is something called material testing. There are different testing methodologies for material with regard to strength, with regard to brittleness, with regard to metal composition. So many things are there. These are all chemical tests. Some are invasive, some are non-destructive, some are destructive, whatever it is. It's a subject by itself. So the government of India and some government companies wanted to create a shared service. And some entrepreneurs also got interested. Some companies also got interested because they said these are all very extremely specialized facilities, and R&D also has to be done. So we will form a Section 8 company. Government will invest. Public sector undertaking will invest. Individual private sector also will come. Joint venture. We will run the whole thing. And any company can come and get the testing done at a nominal rate. Very nominal rate, which otherwise would be very costly. We'll do it at a nominal rate. Definitely there will be some profit. No, we will not make it at a loss. Whatever surplus is generated from this activity, we'll be using it for research and development, R&D in this field. Maybe we'll conduct seminars, high-level seminars and all that, using the surplus. See how logically this fits in the Section 8 framework. So we incorporated such a company in this manner. Now the company is but since the government of India and the state government together hold more than 51%, it is coming under the CAG framework. So auditor will be appointed only by the Controller and Auditor General of India. You will see that when you come to auditing. But the point is, we are still consultants, and we enabled this company to be formed. So why I'm giving this case study type of an example to you to understand in what framework Section 8 will be approved. See, government is involved, public sector, BHL was involved, private sector, senior big companies are involved. It's a cutting edge technology where metal testing, they will be doing a lot of R&D. So there will be a benefit to society at large. And companies will definitely use the services for which they will be charged, but at a very nominal rate. Shared service now. So they don't have to pay at premium rates. And all of them are contributed. So why? Like that. It's like running a charitable hospital where people can get a reasonable rate. Can't do free. Diagnostic laboratory cannot be done free because there are some expenses associated with it. Okay. Today, no hospital is run as a charitable trust or as a Section 8 company. All of them are working as private sector. Most of them are private enterprises, either partnership or proprietary of the doctor or his wife or company like that. Okay, rightly or wrongly. Rarely you'll find a hospital which is a trust and operating in a trust. Rarely. In those days, most hospitals were run by Section 8 company or trust. For your information, the Bombay Stock Exchange is a Section 25, old Section 25 company. The Madras Stock Exchange is definitely a Section 25 company. The Presidency Club in Chennai, of which I am a member, is a Section 25 company. I say Section 25 now. All of them today have become coming under the purview of Section 8. Section 25, I say because they're all formed under the old Section 25 company. So many clubs, I'm sure, whichever metro city, in case you are living, there will be some very top clubs in that city. They will be, most of them would be Section 25 companies or erstwhile Section 25 companies only. Okay, clubs, recreation clubs, etc. Boat club is Section 25 company. Chennai Madras Boat Club is Section 25 company. Presidency Club Madras, Section 25 company. Okay, so for your information, right? Since I don't know other cities' exact details of their organization, I'm sure many of the Ballygunge Club, I'm sure will be a Section 25 company in Kolkata, whatever. Right. Now, a company registered under this section shall not alter the provisions of memorandum or articles except with the previous approval of central government. Note it, your honors. Normally, later on, we'll be seeing alteration of object clause in the memorandum, alteration of memorandum. But for shifting of registered office from one state to another state, you don't have to get any previous approval. Whereas for Section 8 company, you cannot alter without obtaining the previous approval of the central government. Right. Now, so I will just hide this for a moment and see what is. Now you are a Section 8 company. You want to convert into another kind of company. Procedure. Pass a special resolution in general meeting with an explanatory statement, etc., etc. Then you make an application in form INC 18 to be filed with the regional director, along with the reason why you want to convert, copy of notice, and a certificate true copy of the resolution, notice, etc., to be filed in form number MGT 14. See, later on when you come to management and administration, this MGT14 will be made known to you. This is a beautiful form. Company secretaries love this form. In those days, it was called Form 24. In those days, it was called Form 24. Now it is form number MGT14. Whenever you pass a special resolution or certain special types of resolutions, you have to file form number MGT14. What are the matters which you have to file form MGT14? You will study in management and administration. Right now, I'm only explaining to you that form number MGT14 is filed because a special resolution has been. It is not. This is not a form connected with Section 8 company. This is a common form. Whenever a special resolution is formed, within 30 days, the details of the special resolution, the resolution and the details should be filed in form along with form number MGT14. Okay. Also, the company should publish a notice in form INC 19 at its own expense within a week from the date of submitting. The idea is the public should know that this was a Section 8 company. Now it has converted into an ordinary company. It has converted. It no longer has the privileges of a Section 8 company. At least once in a vernacular newspaper in the principal vernacular language of the district, in which the registered office of the company and having a wide circulation, and at least once in English language and in an English newspaper having a wide circulation in the district. See, whenever I read this type of section, where they ask a public notice to be given, invariably, even a central law, forget a state law, even a central law will say it has to be published in two newspapers, one in English and other not in Hindi, but in the vernacular of the region. Because we have so many languages in India. Therefore, Hindi may not be understood by everybody across the country. Therefore, very clearly the law in its magnanimity says you have to give in English and also in the local language, vernacular language, which could be anything. Which could be anything. Whichever district or whichever area it is, the registered office of the company is situated. They don't even say language of the state. They say language of the district in which the registered office of the company is situated. For example, if it is in Nagpur, then you might want to give in Marathi. That too in Hitavada, Marathi edition, you will want to give, where it will be in Marathi, not in Hindi. Okay, it's the one. So, and also it should be put in the website of the company, and a copy of the notice shall be sent to the RD. RD is short form for RD. Okay, is a short form for regional director. Regional director. Okay, is a short form. RD means regional director. So if at all later on you see RD, okay, regional director is the head of the region. So we have 5 regions. Each region is headed by a regional director. And many applications will be going from to the regional director. So sometimes in the Companies Act, you will find the word central government. Now, central government can have many meanings, right from registrar of companies. See, if it is ROC, they would not say central government. They will say registrar of companies. But if it is RD, they will say central government. So when you see central government, immediately in our institute material, you will find they would give a small footnote in the bottom of the page. You might have seen that, where they will say, for the purpose of this provision, central government is regional director. Okay, so that most of the powers to be exercised under the Companies Act 2013 have been delegated to the regional director, where it is not specifically stated as a registrar of companies, where it is stated as central government, then you can be sure that it is the regional director. Okay. Rarely you are expected to go to New Delhi. In those days, there were many sections, too many sections, where the application was to be made to the central government, the ministry in New Delhi. So you have to make the application, including appointment of MD, etc. Prior approval for appointment of MD. The application had to be made to New Delhi. Now the regional directors can themselves handle this. So Just for you, this is more for your general knowledge and awareness. Okay. Now whenever I see what we are now studying is, we are studying conversion of a company already registered under Section 8 into any other kind of company. So, social resolution to be passed, application to be given in INC 18, filed with the regional director, special resolution to be filed in form number MGT 14, public advertisement is to be given in form number INC 19 within 1 week, and a copy of the notice to be filed with the RD. Then, in addition to this, you have to serve notice by registered post. The company has to serve on the Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Income tax officer who has jurisdiction over the company. The charity commissioner, if any. See, in the state of Tamil Nadu, we do not have a charity commissioner. But in the Maharashtra, Mumbai, you have charity commissioner. For your information, there are some states where charitable trusts are registered with somebody called the charity commissioner, who monitors them. In addition to the income tax authorities, the charity commissioner also looks at Section 8 companies. Therefore, they have to be on. But in the state, for information, in the state of Maharashtra, it is there, but not in the state of India. I do not know about other states. Maharashtra, I know it is there. You have to go through the charity commissioner. And in Tamil Nadu, it is not there. No, there is no charity commissioner in Tamil Nadu. Okay. The chief secretary of the state in which the registered office of the company is situated, chief secretary, topmost guy. Okay. In every state, the topmost administrative officer would be the the topmost official would be the chief secretary. See, so chief secretary will be there and the inspector general of police, IG of police. These two people, IG of police for home security and other chief secretary for all administrative matters. Both of them will report to the chief minister. Means, please note the way in which, how beautifully Dr. Ambedkar has created it. The elected representative has the power to make policy decision, but implementation has been entirely given to the secretariat. The elected representative cannot interfere with the implementation. Beautiful. Similarly, the policy cannot be framed by the administrative. The administrative side will only do the implementation. So, the minister decides or the parliament decides or the policy is framed by the ministry. Once the policy is framed, then the IAS officers take over, headed by the chief secretary in the state. So, they then go for tendering, they go for approval, etc. So that the beauty of this system is that, and this is not only peculiar to India, we borrowed it directly from the British Parliament, the British Constitution, okay, the British framework. So there again you have, some of you might have seen you may not have seen it, but if you heard of it, there is something called the Yes Minister. It's a beautiful comedy serial where there will be a prime minister and his, the undersecretary, Humphrey. And it will be a very beautiful fight where the fight between the politician and his need to make a public image and the administrative side to ensure that everything is as per the rules and regulations. So all sorts of comedy will come out, and the craziness of the bureaucratic system will be so beautifully identified and highlighted in that comedy serial. So chief secretary has to be informed so that he will know that this Section 8 company is converting into a normal company, right, of that state. Any organization or department of the central government or state government under whose jurisdiction the company has been operating. Suppose they've been operating under the handicrafts department, Khadi and handicrafts, or Khadi and whatever department, ministry, then that department has also, or ministry also has to be informed. Any of the above authorities may make representations to RD within 60 days, informing the RD. These fellows are doing nonsense. They have already swindled public funds. Now they want to quietly change and run away. So that is the opportunity is given to these people to object. If no such objection is received, okay, then you can go ahead. Where the company has obtained any special status, etc., then that also has to be, you have to go to that authority and get NOC. For example, if you are a chamber of commerce, you have to get NOC from the ministry saying, state ministry saying, we are no longer chamber, please permit us, we want to go, whatever. In fact, I'm in the process of helping a chamber of commerce Misguidedly, they formed a chamber of commerce. It functioned for 5 years. Section 8 company. After that, I don't know the name. Obviously, I don't know to name it. Now they have decided that it is not worth it. So they don't want to destroy it. So what they're saying is we'll convert it into a private limited company and we will run it like that. They are saying, I said, okay, procedure is that. This is the procedure. See, in the exam also, you might get a question. So and so Section 8 company, blah, 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 wants to convert into a private company. Can they do so? Yes. What is the procedure? Yeah. Okay. Now, regional director, once he is satisfied, will issue an order approving conversion of Section 8 company into any other company. But RD may give some terms and conditions, etc. Right? The conditions could be, company shall give up and shall claim any special status, exemption or privilege that it enjoyed because of Section 8. The company has acquired any immovable property free of cost or at a concessional cost. You have to pay the difference between the cost at which it acquired such property and the market price of such property at the time of conversion. See, take my own example. This company was formed as a Section 8 company. Maybe say 5 years later, they feel we want to be private. Even the government says, okay, no problem. Be careful. Land was allotted by the government at below the guideline value, below the market value. Agreed. Now, you have to pay the difference between the market price of such property and the price at which you received it from the government. Fair enough. If you have acquired it, you would acquire that price now. In this stage, pay it and go. Any accumulated or unutilized income shall be first utilized to settle all outstanding statutory dues, lenders, etc., etc., etc. And the balance, if any, please note it, Your Honors. It will be transferred to the Investor Education and Protection Fund. Maybe later on, myself or some other learned faculty will teach you dividend, divisible profits. At that time, declaration payment of dividend. At that time, you will learn a lot about this IEPF. So, abhito, don't bother. It is a fund to which this money will be transferred, right? So, any surplus remaining for payment, because that cannot be used by the owners. So, it has to go to the central government kitty. So, they said you give it to the Investor Education and Protection Fund, okay, within 30 days of receiving the approval for conversion. So, any money is there, first use it to pay off everybody. Close. Stop. Then still some money is left over, transfer it to the Investor Education and Protection Fund. Also, the company should have filed all its financial statements and annual returns up to the financial year preceding the application. Okay. All that is there. Not a big deal. Okay. On receipt of the approval, the company shall convene a general meeting, pass a resolution for amending its memorandum, etc. And the registrar it has to send all this to the registrar, file it. The registrar will issue fresh certificate of incorporation. And that's it. Stop. Don't stop. Continue with the new life. The old Section 8 is stopped. The procedure stopped. But your life begins as a new non-Section 8 company from now on. Now, friends, I have a doubt. Before I go on to the next topic, I'm going to find out what all questions are there. And then I am going to ask you a question. Anybody can be a witness now. Who may be the witness? Individuals, natural person. Anybody can be. 18 years age, major, it should be a major, and 18 years, capable of entering into a contract, and can sign. Anybody, natural person. Only natural person, so only they can sign. How artificial person, where is the hand? Only an artificial person, at least left hand is there, we can sign. A natural person, artificial person. So I hope your answer is given, Ms. Gunjan Devi. Trust versus society, what is the point? What is your question? Which is better you're asking? Both, sir, it depends on what you want to do, sir. It's as simple as that, sir. 555 or Marlboros, you ask me, how do I know? What type of smoke you want? What type of pleasure you want? You tell me, or because then only I can say whether you should go for trust or whether you go for society. See, so that is always a point. Whenever a group of people come to me and quote charitable work or socially useful work, I have one conference with them only to decide, is it going to be trust or is it going to be society or is it going to be Section 8 company? Based on their inputs, I will gather the notes. Then maybe at that time or within say 1 or 48 hours, I will give them my advice. In your case, you go for trust. In your case, you go. Where it is pure charitable I am always preferring trusting her. Because in the case of trust, I have control over the whole thing. And it's easier. So if you are going to put your money for doing public charity and all, don't form society, pull in so many other members, be answerable to them and all. But suppose you want to do something that is common cause. You want to form a support group. You want to bring different type of people who have the same interest, a literary society. Then obviously you have to go for a society, right? And all. See, for example, somebody will come to me and say, Mr. Srikanth, I want to form an organization for fighting for women's liberation. Now, it looks a lot like society. Then I'll ask him, really, what are you going to do? No, Srikanth, what we are planning is, we want to buy some land and build a training institute for helping women to learn tailoring. Oh, then that is not women's liberation, that is charity. You better form a trust and you go for but whereas, no, sir, we are going to fight for equal opportunities for women. What you will be doing? We'll be going in the road and giving slogan and protest and all. Then better you go for society. You have president, vice president, all that, because you'll be giving press meet, etc. So we go for society. I hope I'm able to give you the clarity. Unless we have facts, there is no one golden rule where I can say trust is better than society, society is better than trust. These are all vehicles available for you to use based on the purpose for which you are doing. I hope I have answered your question, Mr. Anubhav Malik. Okay. Salman Khan being human is Section 8 company. I'm so happy to know that Mr. Salman Khan, because he is a Salman Khan, because he has a lot of association with deer. In Tamil, Man means deer. Whenever I think the name Salman, I remember the deer. You know, no? Barasingha, deer. Okay. I remember the deer. Why, I don't know. Okay. INC 15 has to be filed by applicant in the sense directors of company. Applicants here are not directors, my dear friend. Everybody who is making the application is an applicant. Some of them will be directors. For example, to form a Section 8 company, I need 7 people. Or 2 as the case may be. I need 7 people. Now, when I'm filing the application, all the 7 will be applicant. Okay. The application will be made by all of them. Okay. All of them are. That has nothing to do with directors. To answer your question, Mr. Anil, don't confuse director with applicant. Applicant alage, director. Okay. Later on, such a company may have directors. That comes later. After the articles is approved, company comes into existence, only then directors. Till such time, only applicant. Some of these applicants may become directors, but at the time of application, they are only applicant. Don't confuse the directors. I hope I'm making myself clear. Yeah, Meenu Kumari, sometimes I speak fast, but whenever it is very important, I go very, very slow. Even slower than this, I will try. Wherever I am trying to use very asan English that can be easily understood by everybody. I'm not speaking like Mr. Shashi Tharoor, I hope, nor can I. So I appreciate your comment, which is very politely worded. I will do my best to speak slowly. Okay, but how much slow, especially when I'm very involved in the topic, sometimes I go fast. I do agree. I apologize for that, but I will do my best. Gunjan Devi is giving suspense statement. It may be possible that. What will be possible, God only knows. Okay, anyway, now comes the point. It may be possible that. Correct. Black buck case. Anubhav Malik got the point. Okay. Sir, I've already told you now, you be clear. If you want a bigger organization, national level, go for Section 8. If you want a small charitable trust where you want to just collect donations and do some charity work, trust it. If you want to have a common cause, if you want to have some social reform or developing some sports or music, etc., whatever, some common interest is there, and you want to bring together people and promote it, then go for society or Section 8. Both are good enough. Okay. I hope I have answered my question. It will differ from case to case. Case to case. Okay. WhatsApp group link, I think it's already provided by Mr. Manish to everybody. Okay. It is there in the beginning itself. You can see. It is there. Okay. Now let us. That's what if they have a bigger operation, when they want to do more, and when they want to be pan-India organization, you go for Section 8 company. Otherwise, go for trust or society. Okay. Mr. Harsh Mishra, I already made a point in the earlier session that I will upload my PowerPoint only after the class is over, which means on 6th, inshallah, we will complete the session. After which, provided there is no correction, I will upload this. Definitely, I will upload it. No doubt. Okay. Many people have used this material. Whenever I meet people in public other forums, I travel across the country, sometimes in the railway station, airport. When I go for a pilgrimage, I go across the country to visit temples and pilgrimage center. So suddenly you will be in Prayagraj when Mahakumbh. I met a couple of students. I was in Prayagraj Mahakumbh. They just taken bath and coming out. Two students are coming and asking, "Sir, are you Srikanth, sir?" "Yes, I plead guilty. I am Srikanth." They're saying, "I attended your class. I downloaded your PPT," like that. So I will give it to you. Okay. Definitely, I will come to Puri ji. I will come. Don't worry. Puri, I will come. No doubt about it. Recently, only Rath Yatra happened. Definitely, I will. Definitely, I will. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I want answer now. Okay. ABC, a Section 8 company. It is limited, private limited, won't be there. ABC, a Section 8 company, wants to convert into one-person company, private limited, one-person company. They seek your advice. Kindly give them the advice. 2 marks. Sir, 2 marks. ABC, a Section 8 company engaged in promoting handicrafts, wants to convert into a OPC. Okay. Private limited OPC. Kindly advise them. That is the question. What is your answer? Correct. They cannot. They cannot. Okay. So, Section 8 company cannot be converted into a one OPC. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's all. See, sometimes they'll ask you a very simple question like this also. Easy. You just have to write 2-line answer. That's all. Section OPC cannot convert into a Section 8 company. Section 8 company cannot convert into a OPC. Okay. So nice of you. Wonderful. Similarly, OPC also cannot convert into a Section 8 company. Right? Yes. Mr. Anil talks about Visakhapatnam. See, for your information, Visakhapatnam is not a new place for me. There was a time when I used to visit Vizag easily 4 to 5 times in a year. I was a visiting faculty for the Geetham University, Geetham Institute of Management, International Business, GIB, and I used to come there regularly to Rishikonda. And then also, I come. Definitely, next time when I come, I'll put it somewhere in Facebook or LinkedIn. Definitely, I would like to be there. Beautiful, wonderful place. On the one side, the sea. On the other side, mountain. Beautiful it will be. Hills on the one side and sea on the other side. Beautiful place, Vizag. Okay, now moving on. Revocation of license. So, we have seen the birth, we have seen the conversion. Now we are going to see the revocation. Revocation. Revocation means cancel. Canceling of license. Revocation. Okay. Instead of using the word cancelling, they are using the word revocation. Revocation. To revoke. The verb is to revoke. Here it will be K. But when it becomes a noun, it will become revocation. There it will become C. Okay. The pronunciation of K. So revoke. To revoke means to cancel. Okay. So when can the central government cancel the license? Obviously, see, he is a good boy. You allow him to do something. He becomes a bad boy. No, don't do it. Go. Cancel. So whatever permission was given because you are a good boy. But you have used that privilege to do ganda activities. You have done bad activities. Therefore, you cannot have that license. The company contravenes, means disobeys any of the requirements or the conditions of this sections. So why did we permit you to do it? To promote some activity, to collect money maybe, but that money should be used only for the purpose of the charitable or socially important work that you are doing. Instead, what you are doing, siphoning funds, using it for a purpose which is not permitted, whatever. You are not complying with the requirements. Or where the affairs of the company are conducted fraudulently. That is, the people who are running the Section 8 company are doing fraud. I think you know what is fraud. Maybe taking money out, cheating, whatever. Or in violation of the objects of the company, or prejudicial to public interest. Prejudicial means you don't like prejudicial, sir. Two big words, sir. I don't like all these big words in English, sir. Then let me give a better, simpler word. But prejudicial is the official word. But if you want against, that means they are doing something which is against the public interest. Against, contrary to, or against. Okay. So in these two cases, they can see, we gave you the license subject to certain conditions. You have violated, contravened, not complied with, or you have done something which is fraud, or which is violating the objects, or something that is against public interest. See, public interest is a very bigger thing in that. I'll give a simple example, sir. You are forming a Section 25, Section 8 company here for promoting art, for promoting art, for promoting art. Very good. Even government of Tamil Nadu or government of Maharashtra supports you. Now, so you are recognizing some senior artists and all. We are happy. But many of the new artists who are coming, instead of helping them to, supporting them, you are selecting people whom you like, or maybe some connections. You are promoting only those people. The really talented people you are ignoring. Are you able to see public interest here? So many members feel, hey, they are having exhibition of so-and-so artist, but that artist is a genius. I have seen his paintings, but he is not being given a chance to demonstrate his work in this audit, in this gallery, in our public gallery. So who will complain? Anybody who's interested can complain. They can write to the central government and say, this was formed for promoting art. There are some excellent artists who are being wantedly ignored, whereas less talented people are being given opportunity. Such a letter means the RD will call. What are you doing? What is your purpose? Why are you violating it? Like that. Are you able to understand? So public interest is a very big term which hits anybody who's affected, can come and complain. But who will decide whether it is against the public interest? Only the RD. The registrar, the regional director only can. On revocation, are you able to understand? The decision is taken by the central government, in this case, regional director. Once the RD passes an order saying revoked, then the registrar will put limited or private limited against the name, and he will lose all its benefits and thing. But before revoking the license, before cancelling the license, opportunity is to be given, opportunity to the company to give a reason. They may say, you have received a complaint, sir, we appreciate your complaint. Somebody is told like this, but you are not an authority on the arts. So we are all experts in art. Only we have formed the society. When one painting comes to us, we have certain standards for judging it. Okay. Then, so they will say, we have got a panel who are all big people. That panel only looked at this people. And before selecting for the exhibition, the panel, including maybe a direct disciple of Mr. Raza, he was here. He only selected these, not us. Are you able to understand how we can defend ourselves and say, look here, the committee did not take the decision. Though the committee is good at appreciating art, we have not taken the decision. We have formed a special group, and that group evaluated all the works that were submitted. And out of that, we have selected 25 works. So-and-so work was not selected because it was not found fit by the committee. There was a process. Using that process only, we did it. Like that. That's a more professional reply. But suppose they are being genuinely, self-interested, then they will give some bullshit that won't be believed by the, and no senior artist will support such rampant behavior. For example, if somebody has been trained by Raza is one of the famous artists, like Hussein. Okay, that man will not sell his soul and allow some low standard painting to go when a good artist is submitted. Okay, real art is there. When you see it itself, you know what is what. Why I'm giving example of art, in this case, painting, oil painting, or any type of painting, is one example. Like that you can tell in music also, everywhere. Okay. So, see, we form associations and societies to develop something, but egos are there. Then they start doing all nonsense. That is a problem. Okay. In fact, I tell you, normal commercial private companies won't have so many cases. But Section 8 companies and Section 25 companies, constantly they'll be having cases. Somebody or the other will file in High Court. I'm not joking. Many of the clubs, if AGM is going to come, you can be sure 1 month before AGM complaints will become, petitions will be filed before the Honorable Madras High Court, asking the club not to do this or to do this or whatever. Okay, just for your information. Once a license is revoked, the central government, if it is satisfied and in the public interest, direct that the company be wound up under this act. That's all, no more, get out, you die. Or if suppose another company is there, which is having similar objects, go and get yourself merged. Okay. In this case also, a reasonable opportunity should be given of being heard. Okay. Where a license is revoked and where the central government is satisfied that it is essential in the public interest that the company registered under this section should be amalgamated with another company, then notwithstanding anything to the contrary, I have highlighted it in the earlier class itself, notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this act, the central government may by order provide for such amalgamation. Why they use notwithstanding anything to the contrary? Because there is another chapter in the syllabus which you will study when you come to final. On your own you will study and you will easily clear final exam. It's so easy to pass law in final. You don't need any coaching. You don't need to even study. You can easily write and pass the exam. It's so easy. Just read the material, go for the exam, you will pass. As simple as that. In the some self mode you study. Okay. So self-paced module, you can read it. Okay. So now, notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this act. Why? Because there is another chapter on amalgamation and mergers and amalgamations. Okay. Reconstructions, amalgamations and reconstruction, corporate. That chapter will not apply here. Any provision there, don't bother, because this section is independent of that. Notwithstanding anything, these are specific powers given to the central government only for amalgamation of 2 Section 8 companies. And that too only when the license is revoked. In those cases, don't refer there, refer only to this. Okay. It is a wide powers they have under this section. In case on winding up, for paying the debts, there is any amount left over, then that can be transferred to another company, or it may be sold and the proceeds to be credited to the insolvency and bankruptcy fund. There is one more fund where if any surplus is remaining on complete winding up and there is nobody to claim, then it will be transferred to the IB fund, formed under the insolvency and bankruptcy code. Okay. A company registered under this section shall amalgamate only with another company registered under this section and having similar objects. Okay. The section 8 companies enjoy certain privileges. You'll be seeing it in other sections. Here they are being summarized. It can call its general meeting by giving 14 days notice instead of 21 days. When you come to management and administration, AGM, annual general meeting, extraordinary meeting, you see notice for general meeting is 21 clear days. But for section 8 company, it is 14. Please note it, your honors. Again, you will be told in that topic also. But here, in the context of section 8, I'm telling you. Section 8 company, notice for general meeting, 14 days, not 21 days. Okay. A requirement of minimum number of directors, independent directors, does not apply. Okay. They are applicable. That will be in the later syllabus, as I told you, self-paced module. When you come there, remember minimum prescriptions, etc., independent directors, the provisions do not apply to section 8 company. Similarly, they need not form a nomination and remuneration committee, shareholder relationship, because they have no meaning now. Also, very, very, very important. Normally, a firm cannot be a member of a company because a firm is not a body corporate. It is neither a natural person nor an artificial juridical person. It has no separate legal entity. Therefore, normally, a firm cannot be a member of a company. Normally, for a private company, public company, non-section 8 company, a firm cannot be a member. But section 8 company alone, a firm may be a member. Because, see, this is not something new, boss. Section 25 was introduced in 1956. Before that, there was a law. There was similar provision, which means, for example, the Mumbai Stock Exchange, the Bombay Stock Exchange, is a Section 25 company. That company, you have a lot of brokers, Mandiwalas, Taravaniwala, they're all members there. The dalals are there. The dalals do not have company. In those days, it was all proprietary or firm. Proprietary means no problem, individual will become member. But sometimes two dalals will come together and form one firm, brokers. So that firm will be a member of Bombay Stock Exchange. So exception is given to Section 25 and Section 8 alone that a firm may be a member of such a. Okay. Because sometimes you might form a chamber of commerce. Now, in a chamber of commerce, every businessman will want to become member. Now, everybody may not be company. Some of the organizations may be firms. How they will become member? So they permit. Firm also may be a member of a Section 8 company. Okay. If a company makes any default in complying with any of the requirements laid down under Section 8, then company shall, without prejudice to any other action under the provisions of this section, be punishable with fine, which shall not be less than 10 lakhs and by up to 1 crore. Directors, not less than 25,000, up to 25 lakhs. Okay. There was earlier punishment by way of imprisonment, which has been removed in 2020. Because in 2020, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs decided to decriminalize. Criminalize. That is, many simple provisions where non-compliance, they were having imprisonment, punishment by way of imprisonment, which is only for criminal offenses. No. So they said this is an economic law. After all, it's not done for cheating anybody, but so they said most of the sections they have removed a punishment by way of imprisonment. This is the problem. Since you people like single words to describe punishment by way of imprisonment has been removed by the Companies Act. Times of India will put it in one line. Companies Act decriminalized. TOI likes such headlines. Companies Act decriminalized. New sections added. That's all. So you have to look up what is decriminalization of the Companies Act. Okay. Got it. So not only here, many sections, they have removed the punishment by way of imprisonment. Okay. Good, sir. We have completed section 8. So if you have any section 8 company doubts, you can finish asking now itself. Not aware, Mr. Anil. Sorry, this private conversation, we can't have it in a public forum, Anil. Okay, I don't know who that gentleman is. I wish him well. I'm not. I was there for about 3 years, long ago. About 20 years ago, I was there. Okay, and I don't remember some of the names also. Kindly don't mistake me. I'm not aware. Take back. No. I was a faculty long ago, bhaiya. I'm talking about 2010 to 2013. 2010 to 2013. Iske baad I have not gone that side. I've been to Vizag many times. On holiday, on Masonic conferences. So many meetings I have gone. Rotary meeting. I had to address some companies and all I've gone. But not to Geetam. Geetam, I think last visit was 2013. After that, so I used to go there. That's all. Anubhavji, I don't know, yeah. Seriously, I don't know about Tata Trust. If I know, I will tell you. And one more thing, why are you asking Srikanth? Google is there. Why don't you find out from Google? What do you say? Instead of me, I am here to teach you company law, right? So Tata Trust, I don't seriously know. If you want information, even I will be only looking up from Google. So you can also, don't mistake me, right? See, ask a question to the teacher in which you cannot find it from Google yourself. The question coming to Srikanth should be specific interpretation of companies law sections or complicated issues relating to company. Okay, then I will answer. But Tata Trust and all public information available in Google, yeah. Let's go there and find it. Okay, but even I will do research. But as of today, I am not interested in Tata Trust because I have nothing to do with it. I don't have to talk to anybody about it. But the day somebody says, Mr. Srikanth, I want detailed report on how Tata Trust is running, and I will, if you give me such a report, I will pay you 50,000 rupees. I will know everything about Tata Trust. Sorry, don't mistake me for being a little like this, but learn the lesson also. Why collect information unnecessarily and keep it, unless it's going to be relevant? I don't know, yeah, that is all. So please, seriously, I don't know about the. If I know, I will. Okay. About the Tata Group, I know, but Tata Trust, I don't. If I know, I will tell. Okay. Unless you have a specific question on Tata Trust, if I know the answer, I will. But hardly speaking, I don't even know who are the trustees, etc. Okay. But see, Tata Group has pooled its corporate resources into a single foundation entity. From all that CSR work and all the contribution, etc., goes from only that trust, single trust. That way, all the money of the entire group is pooled into one trust. And so broadly, I can also only give you that. And again, you should see the context of the subject we are discussing. Section 8 or company law, you ask me, I will give. Okay, now I didn't understand the amalgamation concept. Simple, sir. License has been revoked. Now, what to do with the company? What to do with the company? Either you have to wind it up, or if existing another company is there, suppose let us say this company, Section 25 company, the license is revoked. It is having huge land and buildings. There is a center, R&D center. Why all that should go to waste? Maybe there's another similar research organization. Ask him to take over through amalgamation and bring them both together under one thing. So the central government will pass an order by which these two companies will get merged into one. And all the assets of this revoked company, that will go to the new company. That is called amalgamation. Okay. So minimum number of members and directors in nothing. There is no minimum number of directors is not there. Members as usual, 2 for private, 7 for public. But directors, no minimum or maximum. Okay. Usually there is a maximum number of directors, 15. That does not apply to Section 8 company. You can have any number of directors. I'm not aware of Rummy Circle, ma. Seriously, first time I'm aware that there is a company called Rummy Circle. Okay. Seriously, I'm not aware of it. Okay. My suggestion, if you feel very strongly about it, please inform the. Is it a Section 8? Is it the Section 8 company? Rummy Circle company? Is it a Section 8 company? Are you aware whether it is a Section 8 company? If so, then definitely you can make an application to the central government in public interest for revoking that law. I'm not aware whether Rummy Circle company is a Section 8 company. Okay. Seriously, Aishwarya, I don't know. If it is, then first mail you do before you even start preparing for your exam is you write a mail to central government. You understand what I'm saying, Aishwarya? Okay. Why studying CA and all we'll do later. First, you write a mail to thing. One more thing, the way you are asking, the Rummy Circle is against the public interest, then why the central government and RD not? I know, yeah. You have to ask the RD. Got it? No. Sorry. Anubhav, Aishwarya and all, don't get angry with me. But think about it, yeah. There are many more important questions you can ask, serious issues that are there from the exam point of view. Please. Don't mistake me. Please, yeah. I would love to give you, if this were not a class-bound, time-bound class, I would love to spend a lot of time on these extraneous matters. But we have time constraint. Okay. No problem. I will give, but little bit of relevance should be there. Your question on Rummy Circle, totally correct. Next time I meet the regional director, first of all, I don't know which region this fellow is in his thing. Okay. If it's a private company, then it won't come under this category. Okay. Private company, what you should do, you can make a complaint to the regional director. Private company, but then just like that, they cannot close. You should show that it is in the objects are in opposed to public policy and seriously after that. Okay. Reliance Foundation is a Section 8 company. Wow, I'm so happy to know that. So, no problem. One more thing, if it's a private company and it was formed for the object of promoting Rummy, see, please understand, there are two sides to Rummy. Rummy is not only a game of chance, it is also a game of skill. So, as a sport, it can be promoted. What is prohibited is betting. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Merely playing Rummy is not a crime. Rummy is a game. Only betting is prohibited. In some states, there are many states where betting is not prohibited. In the Northeast, Nagaland and all, Manipur and all, betting is permitted. And Goa, beyond the sea, permitted. So you have to be very, very careful in this. It's very complicated question of law. You are right. Section 8 company cannot be holding us. Let's check up. When I come to holding company, I will tell you. I'm not able to answer this straight away. Section 8 company cannot be holding. No, it can be. When we come to definition of subsidiary and holding, I will give more clarity. There is no prohibition to my knowledge. There is no prohibition that it cannot be holding subsidiary. I'll check up and tell. I don't know, yeah. Seriously, I'm not aware, yeah. See, I tell you, there are areas of expertise. No, I am a teacher of company law. I'm a practicing chartered accountant. I don't even know how to play rummy. I don't do gambling. You are asking very legal question to me, yeah. Why betting is legal? I seriously don't know. Gambling is bad, but some states have to get revenue from gambling. See, gambling gets a lot of revenue. So some states make it legal. Some states make it illegal. Depends, yeah. It's all policy, ma. It's a government policy. Okay, so don't worry. Okay. Thank you for all those interesting but somewhat out of subject questions. Moving on with the topic. I appreciate your questions. Don't think that I'm discouraging the question, but some questions need thinking. Beautiful, Julie Kumari. I'm so happy that you are all. I'm so happy that you are all aware of these subjects. We'll move on to. Okay. Now, section 9 talks about the effect of registration. That is, from the date of incorporation mentioned in the certificate of incorporation. From the date of incorporation mentioned in the certificate of incorporation, the subscribers to the memorandum and all other persons will become members of the company. They will become a body corporate. Are you able to understand? It's a magical moment. 7 people sign the memorandum, get registered. The minute the registrar issues the certificate of registration, incorporation, from that date, a new company, a new person comes into existence by an act of law. Okay, it shall be a body corporate by the name contained in the memorandum. It is capable of exercising all the functions of an incorporated company under this act. It is a separate legal entity. It has the power to acquire, hold, and dispose of property. See, this is one quality of a separate legal entity. Separate legal entity can acquire, hold, and dispose of property in its own name. Got it? Similarly, it can contract and sue and be sued. Means you can file a court case suit against the company in its name. Also, that company can sue you in its name. You might ask me, what's so great about it? I'll tell you. A firm cannot do this. Only a partner can file a suit. Even if the firm files in its name, it has to be signed by a partner. Are you able to understand? Firm does not have any separate legal entity. Got it? It cannot sue and be sued in its own name. More importantly, suppose the company has borrowed money. On whom will you file the suit? Only on the company. You cannot file a suit on even one member. Only at the time of winding up, if any amount is unpaid on the share, that person will become contributory and only the liquidator can collect that money. A creditor cannot file a direct suit against any member. Are you able to understand this point? Direct suit, not possible. But in the case of a firm, for the debts owed by the firm, a creditor can file a suit against any one partner in his name. It need not include the firm. And it can also sue any partner for the entire amount. Because partners are jointly and severally liable. Firm does not have corporate legal entity, separate legal entity. Whereas company has separate legal entity. Now, in the case of Jubilee Cotton Mills versus Lewis, the date of incorporation was wrongly mentioned as an earlier date. Are you able to understand? Company was incorporated on, let us say, really incorporated on 31st of August. But they have mentioned 15th of August. Sorry, 14th of August. It was actually incorporated only on 31st of August. But while typing the name, not today, it cannot happen, boss. Today, it is all online. Computer G is there. It's such silly mistake. But in those days in Britain in 1924, remember, somebody was typing the certificate of incorporation. Maybe he had sleeping, he typed wrongly. But a contract was entered into by the company on that earlier date. It was said that the date mentioned in the incorporation certificate is valid. Even if it is wrongly mentioned, the legal fiction of the company comes into existence from that date. Okay. So this is effect of registration. The need for registration of articles and memoranda. The need for registration. It's a very important concept. You have to understand this. If later on you want to understand doctrine of indoor management, you have to understand this doctrine. So please concentrate. If you do not understand here, you will not understand indoor management. Okay? No. So what happens? Whenever a company is formed, all the papers that are filed in a memorandum, articles, blah, blah, blah. That entire set of documents which is uploaded in the MCA website becomes a public document under section 399. Public document means anybody in this country can go and see. Why country? Anybody can see. Even American can go and see. It is a public document. Every person can go and see. So, suppose you are a bank. You want to lend money to this company. Then, if you are a smart bank, what you should do? You should go to the ROC MCA site. Maybe if you don't want to do it, hire a company secretary. They will do it nicely. They will do what is known as a search. And they will take all the forms filed, make a summary, and give you a nice report. Obviously, he will charge. The devil has to be paid its due. But you will get a nice report clearly stating what are the objects of the company, what the company can do, what it cannot do, what are the activities it can engage in, where the balance sheets, everything can be given to you. Also, whether any asset of the company, there is a charge. Later on, you will be seeing charges. Once a charge is registered, it becomes a public document under this section. So if you are a bank, you will go through all that. And suppose you see property number so-and-so, or this company is engaged in manufacturing of cement, main objects, manufacture of cement. Now the company is giving you a project report for manufacturing sugar. Immediately you have to call him and ask him, Baba, what is this? Your memorandum says your only object class is cement. How you are giving a project for sugar? No, sorry. We are going to amend. No, go amend it and come back. Only then I will deal with you. Now, so this power is there with you. If you understand this, you will understand. So every person entering into a contract with the company should go through the papers. Now you have not gone through it. Without seeing the public document, you have entered into a contract with the company. Without going through the public document, you have entered into a contract. Now, later on, you cannot say, I was not aware. No, because you are presumed to have knowledge. Even though you have not read it, still it will be deemed as if you have read it. So that is called doctrine of constructive notice. I hope you make a note of it in your mind or in your notebook. Doctrine of constructive notice is a rule of presumption. Rule of presumption means it is a deeming provision. You have not seen it, but still it will be presumed that you have seen and you have knowledge. This is in favor of the company. Tomorrow, you cannot say, I am not aware. My object is this. It's clearly mentioned in the memorandum. Even though I have not told you, you could have gone and seen the document in the ROC. You have not done it. Still, it shall be deemed that you are aware. This is called a doctrine of constructive notice. Is applicable to all documents filed with the ROC. We are only giving example of memorandum and articles. But this rule, this section 399, this doctrine is applicable to all documents filed with the ROC or uploaded on the MCA online portal, right? Right. Now, moving on, memorandum definition, already you have studied it, just for your information. Memorandum is the charter. Memorandum is the charter. It brings the company into existence. It is the constitution of the company. Along with the articles, it will become the constitution. The articles of association are the rules and regulations. The articles of association are the rules and regulations, the bylaws. The memorandum is the document that brings the company into existence. It is the charter. Just for your information. See, this type of information I will give Mr. Anubhav Malik. If you ask me Tata Fund, I don't know. If you ask me Rummy Circle, I don't know. But if you ask me, how did the government of the United States of India, I'm sorry, the United States of, there is no United States of India, not yet. Okay, maybe. But how How will they, when the United States of America came into existence because of one document, which is called the Declaration of Independence. It's a beautiful document. If you get a chance, you read it. Okay. I know Anubhav Malik is getting angry. You are not giving answer for Tata Fund, but I'm not asking about American Constitution. Why are you telling? Sorry, but it's a good document. Read the Declaration of Independence. It is a charter. The signatories to the Declaration of Independence are called the founding fathers of the United States of America. It included people like Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. All of them together, they signed the Declaration of Independence, which is the Constitution of the United States. Okay? Read it. If you later on in your life, you want to go to US, read it. Even if you don't want to go to US, read it. It's an inspirational document about how a set of people decided to create a free country. And they promised to their citizens only three things: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's all. They only promise that. Everything else follows. Otherwise, you are at freedom to do anything you want. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That is all. Everything else follows. Okay, no control, nothing, free. That is why in the US, personal liberty and civil rights are protected like anything. Even with the current government, the personal liberty and civil rights cannot be touched. A person's personal liberty, you cannot arrest me without a valid reason. And, the right to speak, free speech, cannot control in the US. Cannot control. Okay? It cannot be controlled. So I gave an example of a constitution. I gave the example of Declaration of Independence. It's a constitution. Similarly, the memorandum is the document which brings into existence, which creates this company. Got it? There are many formats. Okay. So before I go there, let me see if any questions are there. Sorry, Anubhav, I'm just taking a liberty of making these jokes. Thank you for asking. Difference between DOCN and DOIM. Huh? Sir, what is DOCN? This doctrine of indoor management. Oh, doctrine of indoor management and the doctrine of constructive notice. Sir, I'm going to teach you, boss. I will do it. When I come to doctrine of indoor management, that time you will understand the difference between DOCN and DOIM. See, don't worry, it will be taught. But first you have to understand DOCN. Doctrine of constructive notice is a rule of presumption. It presumes or it deems that any public document is available to the whole world to see, which means any person wanting to have contract with the company is presumed, deemed to have knowledge about the contents of the public documents. They cannot say, I have not read it. That's all. That much you understand about DOCN. 100% I'll be teaching doctrine of indoor management. Hopefully, inshallah, today. At that time, I will definitely tell you about the difference. There is no difference. See, doctrine of constructive notice is a presumption in favor of the company against the third party. It protects the company. Even though the other party has not seen, later on he cannot say, you didn't show it to me. I don't have to show it to you. The minute I file it in public document, you are deemed to have seen it. So it is a protection for the company against the third party. Protection for the company against the third party. Doctrine of indoor management is a protection for the third party against the company. How? We will see later. So simple difference is, this is the protection for the company against the third party. Doctrine of indoor management is a protection for the third party against the company. In certain circumstances, the third party can say, look here, I am supposed to go through the document, etc., etc. But certain things I don't have to know. I cannot know. That is what indoor management. So when I come to that, I will teach you. And basically, this is the difference. We'll come to that, I'll teach you. Don't worry. With some notable exceptions, which you should know. Okay. Chalo. Now, so memorandum, there are many formats in that. But before we go to the format of memorandum, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay? Uh, Aishwarya ji, I think you are something totally against rummy and betting. Don't worry. Okay. I will personally see to it that I report to the regional director that this rummy company is. See, that way there are so many things that are bad. Yeah. If I keep complaining about everything, what will happen to me? Yeah? Rummy, cigarette, tobacco, drinks. So many things are there that are bad for human beings. if we keep on controlling it, what will happen? You tell me. So see, today you're telling rummy is bad, I will ban it. Tomorrow you will tell drinking is bad, we'll ban it. Day after tomorrow you will tell cigarette is bad, ban it. Am I correct or not? I mean, Aishwarya, I'm not arguing with you, but think about it. You know what will happen if cigarettes and drinks, liquor, are not allowed? You know what will be the loss to that state? Huge. Believe me, the many states cannot function without liquor revenue. They cannot function. Similarly, Rummy also gives them revenue. So some states may make it legal. See, finally, I'll tell you who should be careful. Who should be careful? The government or Rummy Circle or the idiot who goes and loses his money in the Rummy game? Tell me. There's a caveat, or no? A fool cannot be protected from himself. Believe me. Yeah. A man who goes and plays his hard-earned money cannot. So sometimes we cannot protect people from their own foolishness. That way, I'll tell you, there are many fools who are going and buying and selling shares in the stock market. They are no worse than the Rummy Circle fellows. Equal. Whether you are going and playing Rummy or whether you are going and investing in some tobacco limited, thinking that it will go up in the next 3 days, both are equal gamblers here. And both can you prohibit the stock market? Which is the worst gambling today. So many innocent people are going to put their hard-earned money in the market. And one fine morning when the market collapses, they'll be crying, literally weeping. We see. Pure gambling. Today, if somebody is investing in shares, pure gambling, in my humble view. Okay. So don't try to protect people from their own foolishness. Let them do whatever they want. God has given you a choice. You are all great people. You have decided to do CA, become worthwhile members of our society, earn well. Who is that? Some donkey is playing rummy. What is our problem? Some donkey is drinking in liquor shop. What is our problem? Some donkey is eating, drinking, taking cigarette and killing itself of cancer. What is our problem? We are not here to advise all these people. Okay. Sorry for this unnecessary explanation, but this is the broader explanation I'm giving to you as a guru. This is specifically, I don't want to answer any of your question because broader thing I'm giving you. Your life you save. You become chartered accountant. You become wealthy. You do good to society. Finally, you decide enough is enough and let go of the life and go for moksha. This is the purpose of your life. Anything else is unnecessary and waste. Think like that and go. Okay. Sorry for this. I know this was unwarranted statement, but think about it. Okay. Chalo. Now, so my question to you, because you've been asking a lot of questions, now I'm asking a question. Liability of the limited liability company is limited. True or false? The liability of a company limited by shares is limited. True or false? Question. Liability of a company limited by shares is limited. True or false? If false, why? Sir. All of you are putting true. I'm repeating my question. The liability of the company limited by shares is limited. True or false? One more time you consider and answer. Now, let's see. Kabhyadit Chakraborty, members it's limited. Beautiful. And maybe the way I asked the question was wrong. Okay. So, now, Julie Kumari, true, no, false, because the liability of the company is not limited. The company of the members is limited. Please note it, Your Honors, there's a slight difference. Company's liability is unlimited, meaning whatever is borrowed, it has to pay. Even if the assets are insufficient, it will become insolvent. But liability of the member is limited. In the case of company limited by shares, it is limited. Beautifully, Gunjan Devi has written. See, the liability of the company is not limited. Kuldeep Nagar gives correctly. And Vaishnavi says false, correct. The liability of the company is not limited. The liability of the member is limited. Up to the shares unpaid, if any. Gunjan Devi has written, no? Correct. So, when you say company limited by shares, what do you mean? The liability of the members of the company is limited to the extent of the amount, if any, unpaid on the shares. Similarly, a company limited by guarantee and not having share capital, what does that mean? We are forming a company, sir. At the time of formation of company, we don't want money. We feel that we can get money from public donations. Mostly Section 8 companies would come in this category. Section 8 companies would come in this category. Sorry. Section 8 companies will come in this category, where at the time of starting, I don't need money. I'm going to get donations. But in case the company goes into winding up, who will pay for the expenses? So we say, Mr. A says, in case the company is wound up, I agree to bear the amount up to 5 lakhs, 50,000 or. So the liability of the member, here also member, is limited to the extent of the amount agreed to be paid at the time of winding up. So when it is limited by shares, it is limited to the extent of the amount, if any, unpaid on the shares. If any unpaid portion is there, suppose face value is 10 rupees. I have issued shares, face value 10 rupees. Amount paid of 5 rupees. That means what is the liability of the member? 5 rupees. Suppose face value 10 rupees. Fully paid. What is the liability of the member? 0. Why? Because no amount is unpaid, yeah. The liability is limited for the member to the extent of amount unpaid. Fully paid shares, no liability. In case the company goes into winding up, I will do like this and go. You simply do like this and go. What is there? I am member, yeah. My liability is limited. Go. A fully paid share. Partly paid share, then to the extent of amount, if any, unpaid. In the case of guarantee company, in the memorandum, I have agreed. In case the company goes into liquidation, we agree to pay some amount. That amount is the limitation of the liability. There could be a company which has both combination, both guarantee and having share capital. Can be. Rare, can be. Friends, these two type of companies are not at all important for you. 95% of the company will be limited by share. You are going to be employed by companies limited by share only. So limited by guarantee, don't break your head. Mostly there will be Section 8 company. Very few company will be there. Even Section 8 company will be limited by shares. May not be limited by guarantee. But they can be limited by guarantee also. With share capital, without share capital. Similarly, there could be a company where the liability of the members is unlimited. The liability of the members is unlimited. Friends, I don't know whether there is any unlimited company incorporated under the Companies Act. I don't know is the right answer. One, I don't know. Two, I don't want to know. Because, boss, the whole point of having a company form of organization is to enjoy limited liability. Why I will form unlimited company? God only knows. There is a provision. It is available. If you want to incorporate, you can. Who will become shareholder? Who will become shareholder? I don't know. Suppose Mr. Narayana Murthy is forming a new company, Infosys 2, like, Robo 2, 2.0, like that, Infosys 2.0 limited, but unlimited liability. If you become a shareholder, your liability will be unlimited. Mr. Narayana Murthy is offering you 1 lakh shares in that company. Will you take it? Maybe you may, because Narayana Murthy is an honorable man. Definitely he will run the company effectively, but still unlimited liability. In case the company makes loss, the assets are not sufficient to pay the liability. You are to pay the entire amount. You have to share. All the members together have to share the entire amount. Suppose the loss is 40 crore, then all of you have to share. Suppose there are 1 lakh members, 40 lakhs divided by 1 lakh. All have to pay. Okay. So, unlimited liability, right? And why this is there, God only knows. How many such companies are there? Maybe if you go to the MCA website, you'll get information. There might be a few people who have found it. I don't know why they will do it. Unlimited company. The liability of the member is unlimited. Okay. Similarly, that such company may have share capital, may not have share capital. So depending on the type of company, the format of the memorandum will change. So for us, the most important format is Table A, which is what I'm going to explain to you now. Table A will be explained to you. Now, I am going to take you through the clauses of the Memorandum of Association. Before which, let us have a small break for about 5 minutes, max 10 minutes, if you don't mind. Infosys returns, correct. I just give an example of Infosys because Mr. Narayana Murthy is one of the most honorable men in the world. Even if such a man is forming unlimited liability company, will you become member? Check it out. Sorry. Okay. So this is the clauses of the memorandum. Clause means like section. Are you able to understand? Section means that is one word. Another word for section is clause. In the act, it is called section. Okay. Whereas in any document, it will be called clause. CLAUSC. Not Santa Claus. No. That is a man dressed in red with and he'll give you gift in Christmas. That is Santa Claus. This is clause. CLAUSE. Clause means like section. So clause 1, clause 2, clause 3. Just like you have subsection, you can have subclause. So in the memorandum, the different parts of the memorandum are called clause. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3. You can go through it. I will have a small break, maximum 5 minutes. Means by around 7:45, I will resume the class, inshallah. So, I thank Mr. Harsh Mishra for the kind words, and I will definitely take some topics, and hopefully we will do it together. So, sir, small break, sir, for 5 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back from your well-deserved break. Let's quickly move on. As you can see, there's a lot of coverage to be done. But it is, once we will go through it, we are not doing this from the exam point of view. We are doing it from coverage point of view, which means once you go through this lecture along with me, it is as good as reading the material once, the topic once, as good as. Maybe you might want to read some portion and reinforce it like that. Otherwise, just listen to me enough. Next time, you have to go for depth area, only important areas, which I will point out. Okay. So the memorandum has 7 clauses. The memorandum has 7 clauses. Name, domicile or situation, object clause, then capital clause, then liability clause, then association clause. Okay. So 6 clauses are there. Plus for OPC, there will be one more clause, 1 and 2 more classes. So first clause, name clause. Name of the company will be mentioned. That's all. The name of the company shall be whatever limited or private limited as the case may be. Okay. Then domicile or situation clause. The state in which the registered office of the company is to be situated. Please note it, Your Honors. It is not the address of the company. The address of the company you saw earlier. Within 30 days, you have to file a form giving the registered office of the company address. Whereas here in the memorandum, we are only mentioning the state in which the registered office of the company is to be situated. The registered office of the company shall be situated in the state of Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, whatever, Telangana, whatever. Why? Because though we are a single country, our legal system is divided. We have union legislation and we have state legislation. So each one of us belongs to 2 entities. I'm sorry to make this political statement. However much I would like to call myself a citizen of the India, I cannot ever forget that I'm also a citizen of Tamil Nadu. Just as you cannot forget that you're a citizen of UP, or she cannot forget that she is a citizen of Madhya Pradesh. That is the domicile state. Are you able to understand? My ration card is from Tamil Nadu. There is no Indian ration card. There is only Tamil Nadu ration card. Okay. Just for information, I'm telling. Many privileges and benefits that are available to me from the state can be taken by me only if my domicile is in the state. Okay. You cannot have dual domicile. Then double vote. That will be a super idea, no? Don't give it to the politician. Then you create 2 domiciles, 2 votes. Okay. Whatever. Only 1 vote from wherever you are. Your constituency will be only 1. That constituency will be belonging to 1 state. That state only you are. Sorry to make this highly thing, but please note it. No Indian can say, I am purely Indian. The minute you say, I am an Indian, you should also inform, I am an Indian from the state of Andhra Pradesh. I am an Indian from the state of Telangana. I'm sorry to say this. That is how we work. In a way, we are a union of states. We are not a single country. Like, for example, Belgium or France, for that matter, is a single country, speaking a single language. We are not. Okay? We are a country which speaks many languages from many states. And each state has its own lawmaking power with its own lawmaking body. Therefore, the state. That is why, when the Section 8 company wanted to convert, to whom did he make that application? To the chief secretary of the state. Because that is a domicile. So for that purpose, the domicile or situation clause will be needed. Okay. The intention of these statements I have made is not to create a division or to make you feel that we are a divided country, but to inform you about the nature of our country. That right from pre-independence India, the British also recognized this. It is not as if they didn't understand our diversity. They knew very well that we are a country of diversity. And they ruled us with that spirit only, never violating local feelings, never violating local customs, always maintaining the local customs of the domicile rather. Okay, so that cannot be ever touched in this country, is the point. Okay, so that is the state. So whenever you want to move the registered office from one state to another state, you will have to deal with the two registrars. Each state will have one registrar. Each state will have one registrar. Some states have common registrar. To my knowledge, the seven sisters in the Northeast, the seven sisters, you know who they are? No? The seven states in the Northeast, they have a common registrar in Guwahati, to my knowledge. Okay. Similarly, two states have two registrars. I'm sure you know them. Two states have two registrars because the number of companies incorporated in these two states is very high. Anybody can tell me which are the two states which have two registrar of companies, not one. Most states have one, but most states have two registrars. Yes, Maharashtra has two registrars. One in Bombay, of course, and the other in Pune. Okay. Karnataka, it would be nice if they have, because they should have more companies, but they have only one guy sitting in Bangalore. Tamil Nadu had two registrars, has two registrars. Though, of course, once upon a time, we had so many companies being incorporated in Chennai because Chennai was a growth, Tamil Nadu was a growth state where we were consciously promoting growth. And so we needed two registrars, one in Chennai and the other in Coimbatore. So two states have two registrars, one in Maharashtra and the other in Tamil Nadu. Okay, two states have two registrars. All the other states have only one registrar. Now, I suppose Andhra would have no split. Now, so Telangana will have one registrar in Hyderabad. In Andhra Pradesh, I don't know. Maybe they have one in Vijayawada, Amaravati. Maybe they should have. Unless the Telangana man is handling, as of now, handling Andhra Pradesh also. Okay. Now, the objects clause lays down the objects for which the company is proposed to be incorporated. These are known as main objects. Okay. These are the objects which the company will carry on once it comes into existence. So these are the main objects. Very important. You can have only 3 to 5 main objects. You cannot have anything and everything under the sun. No. It should be specific to an area. And it should be very closely related. Even if 3 clauses are there, they should be related to each other. In addition to the main objects, you can have ancillary and incidental objects, which are necessary for furtherance of the main object. For example, borrowing money, investing funds. Am I correct? Appointing managing director. These are all, appointing the borrowing money, investing money, lending money, purchasing fixed assets. These are all matters necessary for the furtherance. For doing the main object, you have to do these things. They are also included in ancillary end. So, can I borrow money? Yes, you can, but only for the main objects. You can't borrow money for something which is not in the main object. Suppose you are a cement company, you cannot borrow money for constructing a sugar plant. If you want to do sugar, then you have to change your object, include sugar. Okay. Liability clause. This clause covers the liability of the members. It is here that you will know. So if you want to know whether this company is limited by share or limited by guarantee, that can be found only from the liability clause. So by now you would have understood that table A, B, C, D, E, only difference will be liability clause. You're able to understand? The only difference between table A, table B, table C, table D will be liability clause. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I need to take this call. Hello? Hello? Madam, நான் ஒரு ஆன்லைன் மீட்டிங்ல இருக்கேன். நாளைக்கு எங்க அப்பாக்கு அப்பாயின்மெண்ட் இருக்கு. Evening, I think 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Dr. Vasudevan. Sorry. Okay. So, I'm so sorry about that. My father is 89 years old and he has a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I need to take him for a checkup. That is what, otherwise I wouldn't do this. He is 89 years old. Tomorrow I have to take him for a checkup for nephrologist. That's what the hospital is calling. It's one to. I wish they would be. Hello? Hello? Madam, கொஞ்சம் அர்ஜென்ட்டா இருக்குமா? சொல்லுங்கம்மா என்ன விஷயம்? இல்ல நான் வாசுதேவன் தான் பார்க்கணும். என்னைக்கு வராரு? என்னம்மா? சரி மேடம். சரி நாளைக்கு கிடையாது. யார் வராங்க அவருக்கு பதிலா? சரி நான் இனிமே நாளைக்கு நான் கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிடுறேன். நான் வரேன் வரலையான்னு. ஓகே மேடம். நான் வந்துடுறேன் மேடம். I'm so sorry, my dear friends. This is something I could not avoid. If it had been anything else, I wouldn't have ever taken this call. This is relating to my father's health. Okay. Chalo. Now, coming to the point. So, the liability clause clearly states the liability, whether it is limited by shares or guarantee. So, you would have understood that. Otherwise, everything will be the same. Only liability clause will be different in B, C, D, and D. You got it? In the case of unlimited company, what you will say? The liability of the members of the company shall be unlimited. That's all. Are you able to understand? And you should also mention the amount up to which each member undertakes in case of guarantee. Okay? In case of limited by shares, that the liability of the members is limited to the amount, if any, unpaid. We are seeing B. Okay? Whereas in the case of unlimited company, it will be liability is unlimited. So, okay. Capital clause, very important. So, name, domicile or situation clause, object clause, liability clause, capital clause. Capital clause. Here, you will mention the maximum amount up to which the company can issue capital. Later on, when you come to share capital and debenture, there we will talk about issued capital, etc., etc. Here, in the memorandum, we will mention the maximum number of shares that can be issued by this company. Okay? Maximum number of shares which can be issued by the company, right? It's called authorized capital. So we'll say the authorized capital of the company shall be 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each, amounting to rupees 10 lakhs. 50,000 preference shares of rupees 100 each, amounting to rupees 5 lakhs. 50,000, 5 lakhs. Okay. This is called capital clause. Also, there will be something called subscription clause. Okay. This is not a clause. This is the contractual part. This is how the company comes into existence. So it will say, we the several persons whose names are mentioned below and who have mentioned the number of shares that we are willing to take against the name are desirous of being incorporated into a company. So that contract will be mentioned in the association clause. Okay? Good. So with that, the company comes into existence. Okay? Once the members sign the memorandum and the ROC issues certificate of incorporation, there is a binding contract between each member and the company and its members inter se. Okay? Now, any provision in the memorandum or articles in the case of a company limited by guarantee, not having a share capital, shall not give any person a right to participate in the divisible profits of the company otherwise than as a member. Friends, this is, you need not worry. If you don't understand, no problem. Because this applies to a company limited by guarantee and not having share capital. Very small number of companies. Reliance Industries won't come here. Okay? Revocation Limited won't come here. No profit-making company will come here. Mostly it will be only Section 8 company. They'll be limited by guarantee. right? So, in case such company is going to be able to give dividend, in case, rarely it will be possible for such companies to give dividend. But if at all they want to give dividend, they can give dividend only to members. Non-members are not entitled to any dividend or other participation in the divisible profits. What is divisible profit? Profits remaining after payment of taxes available for distribution as dividend. After paying preference dividend, that is also there. Only what is remaining after paying preference dividend is available to the equity shareholders for declaring dividend. This is called divisible profit. Okay. Now, non-members are not entitled to dividend or other participation. Give a simple example, boss. Suppose you form a company for promoting tribal handicrafts and all that. Handicrafts and all that, right? You cannot have a clause saying a portion of the divisible profits will be given to the tribals as dividend to the extent of their business. Not possible. Only members will be entitled to dividend. Non-members are not entitled to dividend. Got it? If you want, you enter into a contract with them or you pass a board resolution, pay it. And then what is remaining will be divisible profits available to members. Non-members cannot claim any dividend. That's all it means. If you still don't understand, don't break your head. Leave it. By not knowing this, nothing will happen to you. But if you still, I have taught it. Do not skip it. I have done my best to explain in English, which is the only language I know. The other language I know, you may not be interested in listening, which is my mother tongue, which nobody wants to know. I can speak only in English. I'm trying to speak in Asan English, very simple English, trying my best. So kindly help. If I know a language, I can speak. I don't know the language. Okay. So allow me to speak in my mother tongue. Sorry, not English is not my mother tongue. No, in a language that I hope all of us can easily understand. Okay, I'm doing my best to speak in slow, simple Asan English. Okay, try to follow me. Try to understand. Okay, in the long run, try to learn English. Try to improve your English. You may find it useful. I'm not telling you should not, you should only know. Humble request. Try to learn English. Try to improve your knowledge of this good link language, which is available to us across the country to communicate with each other. English, where a non-Hindi speaker can communicate with a non-Tamil speaker. Okay, it's a beautiful language. It was available to us. It is still available to us. It is not gone. So kindly let us learn English. It will be very useful to you. Your struggle to learn the stupid language called English will be very useful to you in the long run. You will not know. You will curse me now. You will insult me now. But once you learn English and you become little fluent in English, you will thank me later that idiot told me to learn English. I learned. Thank you, sir. Like that, you will tell. Once you cross borders, you come down south for job or you go abroad for job, then you will feel, thank you for helping me to learn a new language and improve myself. You will tell. Also, you will be able to speak to your brothers and sisters south of the Vindhya in a more easy way. Okay. In a language that they can understand. South of the Vindhya, we know, we can understand English. So when you speak to us in English, we will understand. But kindly help me. Don't mistake me. I'm not in a position to speak in Hindi. Okay. I will normally not apologize for this. Normally, I won't even mention this thing. But still, because if at all you want to attend my classes in the long run, you will have to get used to the fact that this poor idiot cannot speak Hindi, but he can speak the other Rajya Bhasha. There are two Rajya Bhashas, na? I can speak the other Rajya Bhasha, which is English. See, there are so many Rashtra Bhashas. Only two Rajya Bhashas. One is Hindi, the other is English. Check it out. In the Constitution, English is also a Rajya Bhasha. Of course, we have so many Rashtra Bhashas. Okay, all of them are national languages. Normally, I hate giving this lecture on language. I hate speaking because most people north of India will not appreciate what I'm saying. But it's still, as a teacher, I'm humbly begging you, please learn Hindi. Please learn. 3 richest states in the south are all Anglophone states. Tamil Nadu, the erstwhile undivided Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. The 3 richest states in India, per capita wise, are all Anglophone. Are all having people who can fluently speak English. Think about it. Check it out. Maybe there is some logic in that language. Okay. Chalo. Now coming to, I'm not trying to promote English. No. God forbid. I'm only humbly begging you not to mistake me for not speaking in any language other than English. Okay. Thank you. Now, subscription clause. In the case of a one-person company, 2 additional clauses have to be added in there. Normally for non-OPC only. OPC, do you remember? What is that? The name of that member has to be given here. 7th clause, I whose name. 6th clause is subscription clause. 7th clause for OPC, wherein it will be clearly mentioned that one man, who is he, signature, etc. 8th clause will be there only for OPC. Applicable in case of one-person company only, which is the name of the person who will be the nominee in the event of death of the sole member. That will be mentioned in the memorandum. Subsequently, when you are changing the nominee, do you remember? Anytime the member can change the nominee and he can appoint another nominee. Do you remember? If so, no need to amend the memorandum. It is enough if you merely change the. Okay. Now, the name clause, there are certain strict rules. The name should not be identical with or resemble a name of an existing company. It should not be identical with or too nearly resemble the name of an existing company. We already saw this. Before you incorporate the company, you have to clear whether the name is available, whether it is not identical with or too nearly resembling it, same as, looking same as, even phonetically, means what? Even by the hearing, Sony, S-O-N-I or S-O-N-Y, alag spelling, but sounding same. That means not allowed. I'm not joking. You can't have. Also, you cannot have Ford Corporation, Ford. Ford is a trademark. Ford is a company incorporated in India, existing company. Ford Corporation, you cannot. Okay. But only, see, in the case of a company, it should not be identical with or resemble a company registered under this act. And you have to be very, very careful. At the time of incorporation, I will go and verify whether the company is such a similar company name is there. For example, in India, if you want to incorporate a company with the name Balaji, impossible. The minute somebody comes to me and says, sir, I want name Balaji, sir, forget Balaji, you will not get Balaji. Every industry, every activity, there will be a Balaji. Sarva Vyabhi, he is there everywhere. Balaji Foods, Balaji Cement, Balaji, Balaji Group is there in Andhra Pradesh, Vagunta Group. There's a Balaji Group. Okay? Balaji, you know who he is, sitting in Tirupati. So, Balaji, very difficult like that. So, but still we will try to, what we will do now. Suppose somebody wants, or some person wants Balaji Infotech Private Limited. Allowed. No. Balaji Infotech will be there. Balaji Software will be there. Something will be there. What we will do? We will say Balaji Infotech Uttar Pradesh Private Limited or Balaji, depending on the state, Balaji Infotech Jharkhand Private Limited. So thereby I'm distinguishing from Balaji Andhra Pradesh, I'm distinguishing Balaji Jharkhand. That means Balaji Infotech Jharkhand Private Limited. Sometimes they allow. Because the idea is nobody should confuse this company with that company. which is where Reliance will never get. Reliance, very difficult. There are a few companies that are not in the Reliance group, which are incorporated. Believe me, they were companies formed before Reliance was incorporated. And they have not objected to Reliance. That's all. There are a few. We have checked out. There are a few. So this identical and resembling is a very, very complicated matter. Also, though it is not in the section, in the rules it is very clear. The name should not be identical with or resemble a trademark. Trademark. See, a company may not have a brand, may not be having a company in India. For example, Kellogg's, I'm assuming Kellogg's may have a company. Kellogg's may not have a company incorporated in India, Kellogg's Corporation, Kellogg's Inc., which is manufacturing home food items and especially well known for their breakfast cereal, Kellogg's. Now, Kellogg's, Kellogg's, in a particular way, the word Kellogg's is a brand, trademark, registered under the Indian Trademark Act. It's registered in US and it is a global patent. Global trademark. It is registered in India also. Now, you want to form a new company, Kellogg's Foods India Private Limited. No way. Because the registrar himself will come back and say, MCA will say, boss, Kellogg's is a brand registered in India. Sorry, you can't have it. Unless you get an NOC from Kellogg's. Okay. Or you should not choose a name which will constitute an offense under any law for the time being in force. For example, Terrorism Support Services Limited. Can you have? Straight away, Pota. Prevention of Terrorism Act. You are violating it. Can you have any company incorporated that? Terrorism Support Services Private Limited. No, not possible. So it is undesirable in the opinion of the central government, where it is opposed to public policy or something like that. Okay, whatever. What is an undesirable name? Such word or expression should maybe, unless the previous approval. See, many names are undesirable. Also, they are saying any name which gives the impression that the company is connected to central government or state government or local authority, you cannot use. For example, you cannot use Maharashtra. You cannot use Indian. You cannot use state. The words, these are all giving the impression that national, okay, National College of Technology Limited. No, national you cannot use. Okay, because that gives the impression, unless you have specifically got a GO where the central government says we will form a new Section 8 company called National College of Innovation or National Institute of Innovation Technology, NIIT. No problem. They can do that. Once you got the approval from central government, then the registrar will permit you to form a company. Okay. So Rule 8 and Rule 80, 8B are there in your institute material, not relevant from exam point of view, but you can go through it. There are, see what is phonetic resemblance, homonyms, which are similar in sounding, but different in spelling. These are all will be homophones. These are all will be given. Okay. So, also there should not be any violation of the emblems and names. Prevention of Improper Use Act also is there. Okay. So, you have to be very careful while choosing a name. Be very, very careful. In fact, whenever a company incorporation activity starts, the first meeting with the promoter, mainly it will be on name. First thing I'll ask, do you have, all of you who are going to become director, raise your hand, yes. Do you have DIN? Okay, note it. Then what name do you want? Okay. Reliance Industries Limited. Already a man called Dhirubhai has incorporated, sir. Can you give me any other name? No, I want only Reliance Industries. Then you go to Mukesh Ambani, get NOC and come. I will incorporate. Tomorrow I will incorporate for you. Like that. Okay. I mean, I gave a very, very, very extreme example, but some people will have like that. They will say, I want somehow. Somehow can you get it? Okay. Now, the beauty of SPICE form is application for name is also included in part 1. The beauty of SPICE is it is a comprehensive form. It is both an application for name and also incorporation. So what you do is you file SPICE part 1, get the name, and continue the filing by filing the remaining documents and incorporating the company. So first you have to make an application in SPICE plus form INC 32 part A. Part A. Part B is the incorporation part. Part A is the name part. Okay, for reservation of the name. So they generally will allot, but sometimes they will say not allotted because you change it. So they will give you another 15 days when you can resubmit with a new name, etc. That's all. Maximum 20 days. You have to incorporate the company. From the date the name is reserved, you have to make the application for incorporation within 20 days from the date of approval of the name. Okay. In case the company has given false or incorrect information, if the company has not been incorporated, the reserved name shall be cancelled and the person will be liable to penalty of 1 lakh. In case the company has already been incorporated, then the registrar may, after giving the company an opportunity of being heard, direct the company to change its name within a period of 3 months after passing an ordinary resolution, or take action for striking off the name of the company from the register of companies, or make a petition for winding up of the company. Right? So this is regarding name. Now I am going to articles. Articles are the bylaws or internal rules and regulations that govern the affairs of the company. Right? They contain the regulations for management of the company. Articles shall also contain such matters as are prescribed under the rules. However, a company may also include additional matters necessary for its management. When you come to management and administration, you will find that many matters contained in those sections are also covered in table F. I think table F. Table F. So you have to go that. Okay. If you have adopted table F, then table F will apply fully. But if you have got your own articles, then your articles will apply to the extent they are not violating the law, the Companies Act. But suppose your articles are silent, you have not made a provision for it, then the provisions of table F will apply. The articles of association of a company limited by shares. Just like memorandum, here also you have 4 other categories. Guarantee having share capital, guarantee not having share capital, unlimited having share capital, unlimited not having share capital. FGHIJ, A, B, C, D, E, FGHIJ, 10 forms. Okay, but most important are table B and table F. Okay, so most important. In my life of 40 years, now I mean my practice, my practicing period from 1987 to now, 2027, I'll complete 40 years. Now 38 years. Okay. In that period, I have never used these titles. I have incorporated more than 2,000 companies. And the list is continuing. From 1987 till now, I have incorporated more than 2,000 companies. More than that. Okay. I stopped getting personally involved after 1,200. Thereafter, my office is doing under my blessings more than 2,500 incorporations. Maybe mine is not a big number. Maybe some company secretaries might have incorporated more. Maybe 5,000 also they might have incorporated. But my 2,500 plus till date, I have not done table G, HIJ. Rarely a client comes to me and says, I want a company limited by, I'm so sorry. I went to the end. no client has come to me and said, Srikanth, incorporate a company limited by guarantee, having share capital. No. Okay. They don't want to. Most of them want to incorporate company limited by shares. That's all. And they want to go public. They want to go to the public. What is that? Initial public offer, etc., etc., etc. Okay. A company may adopt all or any of the regulations contained in the model articles. You can fully adopt table F also. Okay. Insofar as the registered articles of such company does not exclude or modify the regulations contained in the model articles, those regulations, so far as applicable, will be the regulations. But, and to the extent as if they were contained. If the articles are silent, note it, your honors, very important. That's why I put in red. If the articles are silent, the appropriate provisions of the model article shall prevail. Are you able to understand? If the articles are silent, but the articles are providing and they are not contrary to the provisions of the law, then that will apply. If you don't want all this trouble, newly incorporated company blindly adopt table F. You can never go wrong. But there are some companies where we have got, I told you before, see 2013 Act came day before yesterday. I have been incorporating companies from 1987, which means there are so many companies that were incorporated under the old law. We don't amend their articles. What we did was one exercise. We scan the articles, see whether there is anything contradictory to the law as it stands now. We amend it. One amendment we did for all. Thereafter, that will continue. In case there is something here that is provided in table F, my articles will stand, so long as it's not violating the law. But suppose the articles are silent, then the appropriate provision of the model article shall prevail. I hope you are clear about this. So these are basic differences between memorandum and articles. Basically, memorandum is the constitution and charter, whereas articles is the internal regulations like the bylaws. Memorandum is having a higher scope. It defines those activities that the company cannot do negatively. Also, what it can do. An act done by the company beyond the scope of memorandum is void ab initio, ultra vires. I come to that when you come to doctrine. Whereas articles is subservient. Articles is within the scope of the memorandum. AOA, one step below memorandum. In case you have done something which is beyond the scope of the articles, some rule you have put in your own manner, you have violated. Chalo yaar, your articles is saying directors can borrow up to 1 crore without approval. Beyond 1 crore, they need approval. Agreed. Directors have borrowed 1.5 crores without approval. It is a violation of articles, but it can be ratified. I'm sure you studied it in your contract act or somewhere. Ratify means to approve it after the act has been done. Are you able to understand? See, I have told my son not to come home beyond 10 p.m. No, when he was in school and college. Who is a advocate? He comes home only at 10:30 from office. But in those days, when he was a student or when he was there, I used to tell him, not after 9 o'clock. You cannot come home after 9 o'clock. So, okay, daddy. One day he comes at 10 o'clock. He has violated. No, what can be done? I can permit ratify. Okay, Baba, what happened today? No, you don't know. My motorway got punctured. So okay, ratified. Means he came late. Then I'm saying it is okay. Go. Chalo. Today only I'll accept. That is called ratification. Got it? Ratify. You approve your transaction after it has occurred. Okay. Now, see, you might see me using Hindi words, but if I start using Hindi, then you will start asking question in Hindi. I cannot understand. That is why. Okay. But still, I am trying to learn. Even if you will not learn English, I am trying to learn Hindi to teach you. But not able. Buddha hai na, that language is not going into my head. At least you are young people. You can learn a new language. No. This old man cannot learn Hindi. You youngsters can learn English now. What do you say? Memorandum is subject to the Companies Act 2013. It cannot contain anything contrary to the Act, but it is superior to AOA. But AOA is inferior to Memorandum and also Act. Are you able to see the hierarchy? AOA, Memorandum, Act. Act is superior. Right. Now we are going to see entrenchment. Now, this is a peculiar provision which has been introduced by the Companies Act 2013. It was not there in the 1956 law. I don't know why they introduced it. God only knows. God only knows now, because I am sure that Brahaspati who introduced it also would have forgotten why he did it. The undersecretary in the ministry who did it also would have forgotten why he introduced this provision. But I will explain to you the best of my knowledge. Normally, if you want to do something, the company wants to do something, it will be done only by passing a resolution. Got it? Later on, when you come to management and administration, you will understand better. Okay, I will teach or somebody will teach resolution, etc. Now I am telling, if you want the company to do something, for example, if you want company to change the memorandum, articles, amendment, it has to pass a resolution. In the Companies Act, you will find many places, special resolution, ordinary resolution. That means some form of majority. Okay. Right. Now, entrenchment is the process by which you are making it difficult to amend or alter the clause in the articles. That amendment or alteration will be made more difficult. Normally, if you want to amend a clause in the articles, it is enough if you pass a special resolution. So usually articles can be altered by passing special resolutions. But once you make a particular clause entrenched, entrench means it's like digging a hole and sticking into it. It's called entrench. Trench means a hole in the ground. Entrench means to make a hole in the ground and stick something into it. It cannot be so easily taken out. So that's called entrenchment. Entrenchment makes it difficult to change. Okay, how to do it? Normally, again and again I repeat, normally any provision in the Articles of Association can be altered by passing a special resolution. But once you entrench it, you can make it more difficult. How? You can say, suppose there is a clause for borrowing which has a limit of 5 crore. You don't want it to be changed. Then you will say this clause is entrenched. How? If you want to alter this clause, 95% of the members should agree. Are you able to understand? So you are going for a superior form of majority. You are going for a superior form of majority. Okay? Superior form of majority. Right? So, how to do it? So the provisions of entrenchment shall only be made either at the time of formation. So at the time of formation, when you are drafting the articles, you make it clear. Above clause can be amended only by agreement by 95% of the members or 95% of members holding 95% of the paid up capital. Pakka entrenchment. You are putting it in the articles itself at the time of formation. At the time of formation, you didn't do it. Now you want to entrench it. You can do it. How? By an amendment in the articles. This amendment should be agreed to by all the members of the company in the case of private company, and a special resolution in the case of a public company. So, to entrench a provision, private company, unanimous, all members should agree. Public company has to pass a special resolution. Okay? Where the articles contain provision for entrenchment, whether at the time of formation or by amendment, company will give notice to the registrar and inform him that it is entrenched. Again, I repeat, entrenchment, God only knows why it is there. Why the directors or the people who are forming the company will put up for themselves, God only knows. I will tell you a context in which it can happen, where a company is constantly mismanaged, the current management is removed, they have done some nasty things. No, the members want future. No fellow should amend this unless 95% agree. Majority, simple majority, not enough. Special majority also not enough. Then they may pass a resolution for entrenching the question. Okay. I'm giving an example when it can happen. To my knowledge, it would have never happened. I can even challenge entrenching. If you can show one entrenchment, entrenched articles, I would, as a matter of curiosity, I would like to see it. If one of you has got some copy of an entrenched articles of association, I'm not aware. So, timing of entrenchment, formation, or after coming into existence, private company, all members should agree, public company, special resolution. At formation in SPICE, after coming into existence, you pass a resolution. See, resolution which has been accepted to by all the members, also MGT 14. Special resolution also MGT 14 within 30 days. Okay. Now, my dear friends, the time is 8:30. We have come to one point. Next class, we can finish it. Don't worry. Let us, rely. See, though you are spelling it differently, Mr. Anubhav, pronunciation will be reliance or whatever. Sir, I will get it for you, sir. That's not a problem. But still, they will object initially. They will say it resembles reliance. I agree. Model articles is the table F, yeah. Table F. The table F, table Y, and all, hai. This is model articles. A model article. This is model article. So if you're forming a company limited by shares, table F is the model articles. Model means the form in which it should be standard. That is this model. Okay. Let's quickly see. No, though I shouldn't comment like that, I would say entrenchment. But see how difficult it is to remember. Yeah, entrenchment makes it difficult to amend articles. Normally, articles are to be amended only by passing a special resolution. If you want to entrench it, you will make it more difficult. Okay, how to do it? At the time of formation, in the SPICE itself, you do it. Means in the articles itself, you do it. Or after that, private company, if all the members agree, public company, if a special resolution is passed. Once entrenchment provision is invoked, you have to inform the registrar that you have created entrenchment. That's all. In 1 minute, I have summarized. Like that, try to remember sections. But should I break my head and remember? No need. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next class, I will show you a memorandum of articles. I will show you one example memorandum. I will show you. Don't worry. Okay. Wherein, see, I will show it to you. Wherein name has been changed, also I will show. Where the company has changed its name, I will show you. Next class. Sir, normal incorporation is all, now there is no normal, sir. Everybody goes through SPICE only. Or else you have to file only INC 32, wherein you don't have the benefit of DIN, which means all the directors should have DIN. Only then you can go for so-called normal incorporation. SPICE is better. Go for SPICE. Simple. Don't go for normal and all. Go for SPICE. That is easier. Okay. If you are a fan of Dune, then SPICE has a totally different meaning for fans of Dune by Frank Herbert. Wonderful. It was a great evening. Thanks for your great involvement and support. Looking forward to my next class with you. Till such time, bye. Good day. Sir, class over, sir. Yeah. Bye.